Hey guys, Base Phoenix here. Welcome to day 2 of this journey of reading a couple pages of Descent and Awakening until the book's release. Hope you guys enjoy. Jay looks across the street and waves at an African American convenience store owner, Mr. Edwards. "Hey, Mr. Edwards," he shouts. "Hey, gang," Mr. Edwards waves back. Mr. Edwards turns to a couple of street thugs who are selling drugs. He shakes a wrinkly fist at them. "What'd I tell you punks about selling in front of my store? Go on now." One of the thugs steps forward. "What are you gonna do, old man?" Another thug takes out a knife and steps towards the owner. Jay drops his bag and rushes across the street, avoiding cars along the way. "Jay!" Kendra shrieks. Jay walks up to Mr. Edwards, first looking at Mr. Edwards, checking for any wounds in his dark skin, before looking over at the punks. He glares intensely at the thugs under the rim of his hoodie. The goon with the knife squints at Jay before the goon who spoke, the lead goon, holds out a hand. He holds Jay, then turns to the knife wielder. "Nah, man, he's cool." The thugs walk off. Jay turns back to Mr. Edwards, who is watching the punks leave. "Everything all right?" Yeah, I'm all right, son. I'm just sick of these goons." Kendra screams again. She's holding Jay's bag. "Jay!" Jay averts his attention across the street. "Come back!" "Can you bring it over, Ken?" Kendra rolls her eyes before she crosses the street. "I'll talk to you guys later," Tuck shouts and waves before walking off. Kendra hands Jay his bag. "See ya, Tuck," Jay shouts back. "You okay?" Kendra asks him. Jay nods. "I'm alright. Head home, Ken. I'll catch up with you later." Kendra smiles and blushes at him. She hugs him, then heads home. Jay focuses his attention on Mr. Edwards. "Hey, let me know if those goons ever come back, Mr. Edwards," Jay says. "Nah, Jay," Mr. Edwards says with a wave of his hand. "Don't worry about it. I'll just call the cops next time." "You know I can help, right?" "Don't want to. I know your fighting reputation precedes you with the thugs around here, but I don't want you fighting. You're not like that hero everyone believes was the thing," Mr. Edwards says. "Stay out of trouble, you hear?" Jay looks at the ground. "Yeah." A few burly guards in black business suits and even darker shades stand outside of a local grocery store. Jay walks past them with his head down, deep in thought. It's not that he wanted to be a hero, but it got him thinking about what the future would hold for him. Could he make a living being a hero? If he wasn't going to college, what would he do instead? Maybe continue fighting, but professionally, like boxing or mixed martial arts. A guard speaks up. "Jones." Jay turns around facing the guards. Offer still stands. Jay turns back around and continues walking. "I told you guys, I'm good." "Okay, just letting you know. You know where to find us if you ever change your mind." Jay lives with his mother in a row of 2-family middle-class houses. The Joneses' side of the red brick house is rather run down. All 4 of the steps are cracked. The chipped black railing is loose and unstable. The other side of the house is the exact opposite, with smooth steps and a stable silver railing. Jay walks up to the stairs on the left side of the house. He takes out his keys before he stops to wave at his old neighbor who lives in the building to his left. "Hey, Mrs. Hayes." "Hi, Jay." Jay goes back to unlocking the door before the right door opens. Miss Crawford, the landlady, emerges from her side of the house. She's an older Caucasian woman that lives alone, no kids, no spouse. She has bleached blonde hair that doesn't match her black eyebrows. She is always seen in a red business suit that matches the color of the red bricks of the building. "Jay, your mother. What about her?" She's what?" Jay shouts. "She's in the hospital. She was mugged." Jay takes a second to take the news in. Thoughts of murdering whoever hurt his mother rushed through his head. He didn't care about the repercussions. Someone harmed the closest person to him and he was going to find out who. He clenches his fist. Also, Jay snaps out of his violent thoughts to look back at the landlady. "What?" "I don't know how to say this without ruining your day further, but say it. Rent is due." Jay glares at Miss Crawford as if his gaze could pierce through her. "She didn't already pay it?" "No. The last time she paid was last month's. You've been good with rent lately. I would really hate to see you go back in the other direction. I wouldn't want to. I get it. Jay finally opens the door to a side of the house and walks inside. It is really dark in the house, especially for the afternoon. The shades have been drawn and the curtains covering them. Without turning on the lights, Jay drops his bag on the ground before walking over to a chair to sit with his head in his hands to collect himself. Chapter 2. Jay walks over to the main entrance of Haven City Hospital. He ignores the sick people and their family members around them as he walks up to one of the nurse stations. He speaks with the nurse and she tells them where his mother's room is. Jackie, Jay's mother, is sitting up in a bed, staring at a silhouetted figure in a doorway. She leans slightly and squints. Jay? The figure steps forward and she reels back in horror. The figure is Hector Wise, the one who mugged her. Hello, Mrs. Jones, Hector says. Hector walks over to the bed's guardrail and puts his foot on the bed, leaning close to Jackie. Jackie Jones, right? May I call you Jackie? He gets off the bed and turns his back to her, folding his arms. Sorry about the whole mugging thing, he says, turning around to face her again. Normally I would have caused you physical pain, but I see you've already been through a lot physically. I didn't want to add to it. He points at a scar on her arm. So I decided to attack you psychologically, taking the money you had, though I honestly have no use for it. I'd assume you'd just been to the ATM. It's more than what people normally carry. He walks to the doorframe of the room. Besides, he says, before he turns to her with his eyes constricted, you harmed yourself psychologically with that little heart attack, didn't you? Have a nice day, Jackie, Hector says, waving and exiting the room. He walks down the hallway toward Jay. Jay walks towards Hector. And that is where we're going to end today. We will continue tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to live stream until these videos start to get a little more traction, hopefully. But that's it for today, guys. I will see you tomorrow for day 3. Thanks for watching.